Welcome back to TML Weekly. As always, brought to you by Bjorn and Don Cherry Sports Grill. Game 6 recap. The boys got it done. I'm going to send it right over to John. What do you think?
Never had a doubt, buddy. Never had a doubt. And listen, above all else, when the demons started to talk, and they were talking, this is why Craig Berube was brought in, right? This is why your OELs are here. This is why your Lorenzes are here. The calmness on that bench tonight was brilliant. Pacioretty's goal, Chief doesn't, nothing. Just, all right, that's one. Let's keep going now. Everybody stay focused. Everybody in. I love everything about the way that guy has coached us all year. Fantastic. And above all else, and remember, I said this the other night, if you're going to win hockey games in the playoffs, your best guys better be your best guys. They better show up and ready to play. And listen, round 2, boy, doesn't it feel fun to say? Round 2. Johnny, I feel good.
I'm going to Nolan next, and then I've got a little bit of a differing opinion. Obviously, very happy the Leafs pulled it out.
But I'm the positive guy, and you're the negative guy. Who knew?
Yeah, just
who knew?
Rich get on the board first. First power play goal since in the game 5, 6, or 7 since 2018. Finally broke that over 30 streak. Matthews gets on the board early, gets some momentum going. Then just from there on, just a great effort. And then couple lapses there. Terrible penalty by Riley in the third, but we'll get into that. Send over to you, John.
Yeah, I there's a lot almost more I didn't like. I liked a lot for sure. I thought Matthews, like John said the other night, your best players that they were. Stolarz was outstanding. I thought the Matthews line, all three of them were fantastic. We talked about it the other night, and I said, hey, maybe to get Bobby McMahon going, you move him up, and then they start with Patches on the second line, and then Bobby was absolutely outstanding. And all the things that he did wrong the other night, misplaying pucks and making poor decisions, he did everything right tonight and earned his way up to the line with Tavares and Nylander. Terrific. I agreed with that. And then, of course, Patches goes the other way and gets one. So, coaching, outstanding. The calmness, we've talked about it. What I didn't like, okay, I didn't count, but there was multiple sequences in that hockey game where Toronto had the puck on their stick with no danger, and the puck didn't leave the zone. And I'm not talking 2 or 3 instances. I'm talking 10 or 12 instances that the Ottawa forecheck caused them so much trouble that they weren't making decisions quick enough, and the puck was getting turned over, and Stolarz was bailing them out. I thought their defensive zone play tonight could have been as bad as I've seen in months, right? And you're talking about the Ottawa Senators forecheck. Wait till the Florida Panther forecheck come in. They've got to figure that out, how to make little quicker kick plays, get the puck out, okay? I didn't like that the whole game. I didn't like Riley's game at all tonight. He made some terrible decisions with the puck, without the puck, and then the play when he ran, I don't know who it was, he ran into the goalpost, but that's a penalty anywhere, right? So, but you know what? They stuck with it. That was a game that I was at the edge of my seat until that was going to be a goal, whether Willie put it in or not. When you get tripped on and you're clear on an empty net, it was going to be a goal anyway.
Yeah, you saw the ref's hand go up.
By him, I was like, yes, that's it. But that's when I breathed for the first time in a couple hours. I didn't like the effort's fine. It wasn't like they weren't trying. They just didn't make the decisions as quick as you need to. But the bright side of that is you still win the hockey game, right? Your goalie stepped up when he needed to. You made some good plays. Like you said, the best players were the best players. I thought Pacioretty was good and bad. He had a couple of those giveaways that I talked about were him. And I think that led to the demotion. That, coupled with McMahon's really strong play down low on the other side. But you come in against Florida, you got to make quicker and better decisions and get the puck out, because I can promise you the Florida Panther forecheck is going to be heavier and it's going to be faster. And you're talking about the Stanley Cup champions. But credit to them all. It was a nice way to go to the second round. Like Game 7 scared the hell out of me. If they lose tonight, there's a very good chance that those demons come back and guys are gripping their stick and they can't do it. But all the guys, everybody in Leafland tonight is loving it. We don't know when the next series is going to start, but it's going to be a dandy. It's going to be a dandy, and I believe whoever comes out of that series will win the Stanley Cup. I really do. Dallas, Colorado, yeah. Winnipeg, yeah. We'll see. But Vegas is, come on strong here. All right, what's the score on that one right now? Is it over yet?
It's 2-1 last time I checked. It's
2-1 Vegas?
2-1 Vegas, yep. It's still 2-1, 10 minutes left.
Minnesota had them too, man. They had them.
Yeah.
Oh, Minnesota had them. What about LA? All right, LA's up 2-0, and I think LA wins tonight, and I think
Don't count LA out. Okay, so listen, I want to jump into something because I think it's a little amusing that for once I'm the guy saying, hey, everything's great, and you're nitpicking a win. If I recall how many times we've been on this show where I would be nitpicking something, and you know what you would say?
Shift. I'm talking about 12.
And you know what you would say? You would say, John, did we win the hockey game?
Yeah.
Did we win the hockey game?
Well, I said that afterwards.
Johnny, we won the hockey game, buddy.
Yeah.
Let it go. Embrace the positivity. Embrace the positivity. Embrace it. It feels good.
I feel like I'm in the goddamn Twilight Zone right now.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I'm the guy.
I'm just saying that, I watched the game and they got to be better. That's the Ottawa Senators. It's not the Stanley Cup champions. But yeah, credit. They won. At the end of the day, you got to win. You got to win 4 games to move on. And they did. I think they got to start this Florida series quickly. You got no Ekblad in game 1. Take advantage of that. Win there and pound them.
Have to.
Right? Don't let Matthew Tkachuk take this series over, or Brad Marchand, or any of the antics like we talked about in the first round. And you know what? Exactly what I said, which was a key to Toronto's success this year in the playoffs, is to stay out of that kind of drama, what's happened every year for the last 10 years, right?
Florida loves that.
Or a brutal play at the wrong time. We didn't have many of those. And again, it's, like you said, John, it's Berube. He's calm. He went at Savard again. Savard came out of his shoes when they scored the first one on the power play. Like he was, and you see Chief give him the side eye, and it was fun. It was fun to be a part of. It was, to watch it as a fan was extremely stressful. My daughter Maddie and her boyfriend Reese were, I think my feed might have been a few seconds behind. So I'm getting a text that said, I can't, from Madison. And then she's FaceTiming me. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden Ottawa gets that late power play goal.
7 miles to go.
She's ahead of me. So then for the rest of the game, I flip my phone over and
put the phone away.
I don't want to hear anything. Right. So, but she's a trooper. They watched it in Toronto and wore their jerseys. So we have family superstitions, as you guys know. And, first 3 games we had our jerseys on. And then when they lost, we wore our jerseys in game 4. Game 5, nobody wore their jerseys.
Whose jersey are you guys wearing right now?
I got a Matthews. Jack got a Marner.
Yeah, I'm rocking the Savior.
Yeah.
Even my dad is, he's been denying that he's been a Leaf fan. Grew up in Huntsville, Ontario, and been denying he hates the Leafs and talked shit about them my whole life. He came out of the closet here a couple of weeks ago and finally admitted that he deep down inside he likes the Leafs, and asked me for a jersey the other day. So I was over for a visit and some dinner the other night, and we brought him a Matthews blue, and so he's been wearing it. He's bought it.
Love it.
Yeah, it's been good. Who'd you guys watch it? Will, you were at the movie. Who do you watch with, Noel?
Just down here with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's a diehard Leafs fan now. She's watching the show right now.
Oh, good. Is your dad away?
Yeah, he's back tomorrow, but he was watching it. As soon as the game ended, he texted me and said, "And breathe." So
breathe. And breathe. Just breathe.
Yeah. So you know what? This is what being a fan is all about. Is going through the highs and lows and then getting to a point. Now you have an opportunity, right? You face some adversity, and you know what? And if you can look at it, half glass full or half glass empty. Yeah, Ottawa was a bounce away from going to Game 7 here, but Toronto was also a bounce away or a post away from sweeping them. Right. But when you face a little bit of adversity, that kind of maybe, shows them that, hey, we can do this. We didn't play our best tonight, but we still came out, won in a hostile environment on the road, and now we get an opportunity. And guess what? That's defending state. If you can't get up to play the Florida Panthers right now, two trips in a row to the Cup final, you can go in here, win the first two at home, and then go down to Florida and try to sneak one of the two, man, and come home. It's exciting. It's what these players play for. It's what fans watch for. It's going to be great. I hope it starts. I think it's going to start Sunday. I think in Toronto, but you never know. I don't think they could start it Saturday. I don't think they can do a 2-day. I mean, they would love to because of Hockey Night in Canada get Game 1 Saturday night. You never know. Maybe they want to get it going. I think probably Washington and Carolina will start on Saturday now. Somebody's got to play Saturday night.
But still, listen, the one thing that, while we can say what we want to say about Ottawa, hockey is the one major sport where an 8 can beat a 1, no problem, right? Like, say what you want about Montreal. Montreal was a couple bounces away from taking
100%.
that, right? Like,
all credit to Ottawa.
No. Like all I'm saying though is from a point of we're a top seed, they're not a top seed. Hockey playoffs, man, historically it doesn't matter, right? It's in the moment, how the matchup works, all that kind of jazz. So full marks to Ottawa.
You know what? They gave it everything.
Listen, Carolina and Washington is going to be good. I don't know if Freddie's going to play for Carolina. I don't know how hurt he is, but that could be a bit of an adventure in goal for that. Like, I can't even believe I'm saying without Freddie Anderson, it's going to be an adventure in goal. Washington, listen, I'm just saying, like I've said all year, I'm not sold on Washington.
No, I'm not sold on either of those teams.
I don't believe in Washington. I don't know if that's the way to put it, but like, they're solid team, good team, but they don't scare me, right? Like, that's how I look at with them. And I agree with you, Johnny. I think whoever wins this series is probably going to the dance. And boy, listen, we got rid of one to Chuck. Two,
and the Tampa Bay Lightning are out too, right?
And we don't have to go through Tampa.
Because Tampa could have been. I was on the fence. We talked about this, prior to the matchups being set, and I was on the fence. I didn't know whether I wanted Florida or Tampa, and
I would have liked Tampa.
And it was the Vasilevsky. I still think he's the guy.
I agree.
And Florida handled them easily, but there was a lot of stuff, a lot of little things in that series that could have flipped the game the other way. There was, some suspensions that were,
yeah.
But hey, you know what? This is going to be fun. We get another couple weeks of Leaf hockey, right? We haven't said that very often at this time of year, and and I think these guys will under. Berube's did it 3 or 4 or 5 years ago with St. Louis. Okay,
2019.
Yeah. So 6 years ago, he will. Hey, that one's done. Now we have to prepare. He's got to tighten up the D. It's not even the D zone coverage. They're in the right spots. I'm okay with that. But when that puck gets bumped to you, it's got to come. I don't ice it. We'll take the draw. But that giveaway there and getting a tired line pinned, is gonna kill you against a well coached, real good team like Florida Panthers.
Listen, how many times did Grape say, if you're not sure, on the glass and out? All the time. It's your best friend. Take the face off. Who cares?
Yeah, if you watch back the game, you'll see 10 to 12 times in that hockey game that Toronto had the puck on their stick with time if they made a quick decision and then it got turned over. I don't like Tim Stützle at all, as you guys know. I think he's a diver and a
right in the ankles, Johnny.
But I'll tell you, that kid can play hockey, and so can Brady Tkachuk. That goal was elite level. And you know what? At the end of the day, I didn't mind that goal. 22 should have got Cape should have got a penalty, right? He speared him in the nuts from behind, and
I don't know if that's what I saw.
That's what I saw. 100%.
I don't know that that's what I saw.
Brady was cross-checking him here. He turned around and came up underneath. It's a penalty. If that had been seen, it was going to be a penalty. I was looking for. You couldn't see obviously the back ref. I saw the front guy, and I was like, "Oh God, they're going to get one," and then boom, the puck's in the net. But so it is what it is, and it's
The only thing though that I will say there is, and again, I'm going to go back to the previous coach and the bad habits that have been allowed to pick up over 5 years. When you have players that are as creative as our elite guys are, not oftentimes, every time up until this year, they've been allowed to just do the dipsy doodle moves and the high risk moves on the hope that the run and gun style would win out. And so it's year one, and Berube's working that out of them. And yeah, does it creep in at times? Yeah, but elite players want to make elite plays, and they've been told it's okay for 5-6 years now. And so now we're starting to see. But here's the difference, though. Look at what happens when we play the right way. All of a sudden, we're winning. I don't know. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, for sure. And I can't say enough about Matthew Nyes. Jack and I were talking in the first period, and he blew by somebody. Like, just his foot speed, his size and strength, and I mean, Jack and I were talking about it and saying it was like, if you had to make a choice at the end of the year between Nyes or Marner long term, you can't afford them both. I go with Nyes.
And listen, be very clear. There's an offer sheet coming.
Well, I hope it doesn't get there.
There's an offer sheet coming.
Get there, but it depends on his agent. Like, they can dick around until July 1st, or they can, take 8 times 8 or 8 times 9. If it's 8 times 10 for that player, I think you have to do it. $10 million is going to be nothing in 3 years on the cap.
Yeah.
Right. But it's going to cost you Marner. But there's some stuff out there right now too. Away from the Leafs that and I thought it would be a possibility always. I've talked about it. Sidney Crosby. Obviously, he's got a year or 2 left. Would love to be on a contender. Now, you always think Colorado because his relationship with Nathan McKinnon. That's always going to be there. But Toronto, especially if you go to the dance and maybe win this year, or you're real close, or whatever, it would be an attractive. But here's my problem with it: Montreal's starting to get good enough that a guy like Sidney Crosby and that's his team. He grew up loving them.
They're not close enough.
He's not going to go there. No, I agree. I don't think they're close enough. But anyway. So what about a sign and trade for Marner for Crosby before July 1st? Don't let Marner get there. Let Dubas give him 15 a year for 8. And we'll take Crosby back in return at 8.7. At 8.7 for
getting a little ahead of ourselves here.
But hold on, can we make the trade now?
Wow. I mean, I think you could, but I don't know. Anyway, just dreaming. I think it'd be great.
Any final thoughts on the series?
Toronto or whatever, I'd love to see Sid have another shot.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on the series, the game, before we wrap up?
Yeah, you know what? They did what they had to do. All the credit in the world to Ottawa. Toronto didn't have to earn it. and they did. They earned it. They worked their ass off. They made the plays when they needed to make them, and credit to them. Credit to Ottawa. It's going to be exciting. This, if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, this series coming up will be, edge of your seat hockey. The characters that are involved in this, there'll be no other way, right? You get one Kachuk, and now you get another Kachuk, and then throw in a Leaf killer like Brad Marchand, and then turn around and look at the guys like the captain there. He's
the Russian Barkov.
Finish.
But
I feel like he's Russian.
Yeah, he's very underrated in my opinion. I mean,
Barkov is a stud.
He's got a stick like not offensively like Datsuk, but at takeaways.
Heavy.
Yeah. Takeaways, big, heavy. Yeah. You know what? I'm just excited. Get a couple of days of rest because it's gonna be on here pretty quick, and I'm excited. So what are we gonna do for round 2?
I think we should do like a series preview before the series starts, maybe before game 1 or before that even.
Yeah.
And then keep doing
what
that.
would be cool is if you could figure out a way to stream it and have us kind of all watch the game together and talk and stuff like that. It's got to be possible. But do you have to have the rights? Is that the problem?
I think we may get shut down.
We wouldn't be able to show it, but we could show us watching it on our own screens.
Oh, Billy Dobbs from Denver just said hi here, and my daughter Maddie. Hi to Bill and Amanda and the kids and everybody down there. And Bill runs the big facility that the Avalanche train at. So he
that was the one that Jack was talking about where he saw his first game, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
exactly. That was Bill that hooked all that up. So great guy, one of my best buddies, long time, and he's got a daughter in the Army, Madison, and a son. I think he's about to be a doctor. Tyler, I've known them since they were kids. They used to run around with my kids when they were little. So hi to all the Dobbs and his brother Mike and Pat and their families. And thanks for watching. And go Leafs, man! Here we go. Right, 4 more to get to the final. Yeah. It'll be fun. We're going to commit to doing either a post, or both over the next round, and then we'll amp it up even further if they get to the conference final. We'll get into maybe looking at doing some live viewing.
When we get to the conference final, let's keep that positivity train moving, man.
Absolutely.
Can't believe I'm saying this.
Go Leafs. You know what? Well done, and enjoy it. And we'll be back here soon. We'll let you know when we're going to go again. Thanks to Bjorn and Don Cherries, and it's fun. We get to do this again for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Go Leafs, go boys.